stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and our rockets were there, while bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
My name is Travis Thomas, and I'm the Director of Secondary Education Assessment for Carroll County Schools. On behalf of the Carroll County School System and each of our 5 high schools, I would like to welcome you to our second Senior Military Enlistee Ceremony. We are grateful that all of you are here with us this evening. We have special guests on stage, our enlistees, recruiters. We also have some other special guests. So if you are a veteran of our military, will you please stand? Thank you, veterans, for being with us tonight, and most importantly, for your service to our country. I would like to introduce our recruiters who are with us on stage this evening. When I call your name, will you please stand? And audience, please hold your applause to the very end. From the Marines, Staff Sergeant Thompson. From the Air Force, Sergeant Bertelson. And from the Army National Guard, Staff Sergeant Tyler Van Landingham. Thank you for being here tonight, guys. We are here to honor these young men and women who have made the choice to join with the courageous veterans before them to West keep our country free. Their journey over the past 4 years has brought them to this point. They have spoken with recruiters that are here with us tonight. They've taken the ASVAB, fulfilled the other necessary requirements, and have made the decision to join a branch of our esteemed armed forces. For that, I would like to say thank you. By making this decision, these young women are joining a fraternity across the 5 different branches that dates back well over 200 years. From the Minutemen of Lexington, Massachusetts, involved in the shot-hurled, the invasion of Normandy during World War II, the U.S. Army has defended our great nation. From the Civil War to the deserts of Iraq, our United States are forever faithful in completing their missions. From the Battle of Midway to the trials of the Tet Offensive, the United States Navy has fought not only for themselves, but for our country. From the days of the Berlin airlift to the dogfights over North Korea, the United States Air Force has focused on one target: fly, fight, and win. From protecting our ports from terrorists to patrolling the oceans that crash upon our shores, the United States Coast Guard is always ready. Think with me about all of our military leaders who have been forever sown in our nation's history. Think with me about all the men and women throughout our nation's history that made the decision to defend our country and in many cases paid the ultimate sacrifice. When did they get to start? When did they make this decision? after December 7th, 1941, or September the 11th, 2001? Or were they drafted prior to Vietnam? Were they inspired by the call of duty that was within the heart of their family? Or did they join because a recruiter asked them to join? Regardless of the circumstances, these Americans answered the call. These men and women fought to believe right. They fought for their brothers in battle, and they fought for the blanket of freedom you and I enjoy every day. We now find ourselves welcoming these young men to this fold. Please remember the history of our great nation and realize the future that these young Americans have in front of them. Regardless of their terms or tours of duty, these young people are part of the historic legacy left behind by members of the military. Please join me once again in recognizing these courageous students of our high schools in Carroll County. At this time, I would like to turn our program to Lieutenant Colonel Mike Washington. Colonel Washington has retired from the U.S. Air Force and is currently a ROTC instructor for Carroll County students at Central. Colonel Washington will introduce our guest speaker.
It's a great honor tonight. Very proud of the young men and women to my right. After 25 years in the military and looking all over there, would I do it all over again? Heck yeah. You betcha. Start it all over again and have the fun, have the adventure. Life is going to be good for you all, and we appreciate you to serve. And it's my honor tonight to introduce our guest speaker, Terry S. Jones. Mr. Jones was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the Army after graduating from college in the spring of 1986. He went on to serve as a tank platoon leader and then scout platoon leader, prior to being promoted to executive officer of Delta Company, 2nd Battalion, 69th Armor, 197th Infantry Brigade. Lieutenant Jones is deployed with the 97th Infantry Brigade as part of Operation Storm in August of 1990. Mr. Jones served a total of 5.5 years in the Army and was the rank of captain during his deployment in Iraq. After his military duty, he chose a life of service in the world of education. Mr. Jones began his career with the Carroll School System in 1993 as a teacher and assistant football coach. After teaching and coaching, he served as assistant principal at Villa Rica School and then at Central High School. In the year 2000 to 2008, Mr. Jones served as principal of Middle School. Since 2008, Mr. Jones is Director of Curriculum and Instruction at the district level. He currently serves as the Assistant Superintendent of Administrative Support Services for the Carroll County School System. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Terry S. Jones.
Thank you, Colonel Washington. It is an honor, and I am truly humbled to have the opportunity to speak with this distinguished group of seniors this evening. It is, in my opinion, one of the most noble things someone can do, and that is to choose to serve your country. And for that reason, you're being honored tonight. I wish I could sit up and tell you that it's going to be easy, that you're going to love every minute of it, and it's going to be like going to Disney World. But I would not be telling you the truth. There will be times that you are challenged. There will be times, trials that you will face. You will be challenged both mentally and physically to limits that you never be able to achieve, but somehow you overcome. You will achieve. And I will say that there will be times, probably in the near future, you'll be lying in your bed or your bunk and you'll think, what in the world have I done? I have made the worst decision of my life. But I want to encourage you to stick it out because that time will be very brief. And you will make it through. And on the other side, you will be a much stronger person, a much more confident person as a result of commitment to the military service. As a young second lieutenant, I was challenged as well. Shortly after college, I was sent to airborne school to jump out of 31. Went to air assault school, learned how to rappel out of helicopters, to become a scout reconnaissance platoon leader. And to tell you a funny story about that, when I reported to jump school, I was scared to death because I was just a young little country boy from a small town in South Carolina. I'd never even flown in a plane, much less jumped out of one. But I was able to make it through that. The funny part about it is my friends and I, after graduating from jump school, joked, "Hey, Terry's flown in a plane 5 times, never landed." And a lot of my friends thought that was kind of funny. But I share that with you to let you know that there will be times that you will doubt the decision you've made because it's not easy. Not everyone can do it. But you have made that decision, and you wouldn't be sitting here today if you didn't do it. When I was with Dr. Thomas, and he asked me to speak this evening, I asked him, "Well, what do you want me to share with the group?" And he asked me to share some of my experiences, what I learned experience in serving in the military. As I pondered that, I did what any smart person does today. I went to the computer and Googled. And on Google, found an article that was written by a female writer, and she had interviewed several veterans of all ranges of service, and she had asked them the same thing. What is it that you learned from your military experience that has stuck with you through the rest of your life? And I'm intrigued that I read what these veterans spoke about, because many of the things they addressed, many of the things that they mentioned, were some of the same things that I took from my military experience. I also think that it is some of the same things that you will experience in your military commitment. The one thing that did stick with me, though, as I read this article, it didn't matter what branch of service the veteran served in. It didn't matter what the rank of that was, whether they were enlisted or officer. It didn't matter if that veteran was male or female. They all mentioned a lot of the same qualities, a lot of the skills that they had embraced and had learned as a part of their time in the military. And so I do want to share just a few with you. And again, some of the things that you too will see develop as you begin your time in the military. First and foremost is the power of intense focus. While in the military, they will teach you how to focus on the task at hand, on the mission. It is extremely important to block out distractions. You have to be taught to quickly assess situations and make decisions. Can you imagine how valuable that is in the civilian world today? I can tell you, this is one skill that has helped me as I have transitioned into the field of education. Another skill that you will develop or advanced leadership skills. I can tell you what I have learned about leadership. Most of it I learned in the 5 years that I was in the active service. I learned discipline, consistency, ethics, respect. I learned how to take care of my fellow soldiers. It's important that you learn skills. For obvious, I mean, if you're in a combat situation and you're in a foxhole, you've got to be the guy next to you. You've got to know he's got your back and you know his. Also, as a leader, those that you're in charge of have to know that they can trust you. They have to know that you have the best will at heart. And that's important, especially if you expect them to follow you into a difficult or dangerous situation. Another skill that you will develop during your time in the military will be adaptability. Everything in the military, no matter what branch you serve in, will continuously change. You will go to a new duty station. You will take on new roles, responsibilities. You will deploy to a location. Things are constantly changing, and you have to be able to adapt to those changes. There again, that helps you in the civilian world. The more apt you are to be able to adapt to change, the more successful you're going to be. Another skill will be superior decision-making skills. It's rare that when we are faced with a decision that we have all the information we need to make the perfect decision. Well, in the military, it's no different. You make decisions under pressure. You have to be able to respond using the information that you currently have in hand. And the military will train you to do that. The unique thing about the United States and our military service is we believe in making leaders of all men and women who serve. No matter what your rank is, from the lowest private to the general, everyone is trained to make decisions. That's one thing, or one reason that our military is the greatest in the world. Another skill that you will develop during your time in the military will be, and this one's a little longer, resources, flexibility, and persistence. The military provides a level of resourcefulness, boldness, and leadership not seen in the civilian world. You will be taught to get the job or task or mission done with limited resources. That's very important, especially in the military, in particular situations. As a matter of fact, you will be trained, certain resources will be withheld from you just so you will have practice responding to situations without the resources that you typically would need to make this type of decisions. Another skill is the ability to harness processes and procedures. The thing that you will learn, again, no matter what branch of service you go into, the military has mastered processes and procedures. There is a process or a procedure for everything you do. In the Army, we have processes and procedures for breaching a minefield. We also have processes and procedures for making for the way we did laundry. There is a process and a procedure for everything. Our superintendent approached me a couple of years ago, not actually me. We were in a meeting. He shared the staff at the district level. We're going to develop standard operating procedures for how business the district office so that our schools know how we do things and why we do things. And he looked at me and he said, Mr. Jones, I know you're familiar with that because of your time in the military. And I just smiled because I do remember the standard procedure manuals that we had in the military and the memories that brought back to me. And then obviously, last but definitely not least, is extreme discipline. Everyone recognizes that the military provides extreme discipline. This is to create a no-quit attitude in those who are serving. This is to provide an individual with a perseverance that requires you to complete a task no matter what. This is done in many different ways. I know while I was serving in the Army, I had an opportunity to do quite a bit of training out in the Mojave Desert, out in California. And some of you may be familiar with that terrain, some of you may not. But summer months especially, it gets really hot out there. The temperatures can reach 115, 100 degrees, the hottest part of the day. And we go out there and train for weeks at a time, and we would be moving for days at a time to a point going without sleep, you would literally, during the hottest part of the day, start to hallucinate. You would also do limited resources such as water, food, and you would have to make do. And this was done for a reason. They were out there to assess us, to evaluate us, decisions we made, because they make sure we were trained, we were ready to respond and to carry out any mission that we were given, even without the resources you typically would expect in those type of situations. These are just a few of the skills that I have gleaned from my time in the military, and again, that I think that you will also experience in your time. There will be things that you will carry with you, whether you decide to make a military career or whether you decide to do a commitment and transition into the civilian world. There will still be things that you will carry with you for the rest of your life. To this day, I still spit shine my shoes. I still put hospital corners on my bed at home, even though my wife can't stand it. She says the bed's too tight. But those are things that instilled in you, and they just stay with you the rest of your life. I'm a military experience. There's no doubt I would not be where I'm at today if it had not been for my military experience. I truly believe many of you will say the same thing once you have the opportunity to grow as a part of your military experience. We're extremely proud of each and every one of you, the commitment that you have made. This is a tremendous honor for you. Your parents are proud of you. The school system is proud of you. This community as a whole is proud of you. The one thing that I would leave you with as you move forward and you transition into this next phase of your life, don't forget about those who care most about you, those who love you. Not be where you're at today if it were not for them. That's your mothers, your fathers, your grandparents, sisters. As you transition and you move to your first duty station or your first assignment, make sure that you stay in touch with those that you love. Again, we're very proud of you. If there's anything I can ever do for you, please call me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jones, for your words of wisdom and your service to our country. At this time, we're going to have each enlistee. They will meet the recruiter at the stage, in front of the flags and shake their hands. Parents and guardians, when we call out the name of your student, please feel free to take a picture. At this time, we'd like to recognize our enlistees in the United States Army. From Central High School, Ryan Booth. Also from Central High School, Joshua Hamilton. From Temple High School, Tyler Mercott. From Temple High School, Ashley Tucker. And from Villa Rica High School, Army Reserves, Jacqueline Jones. At this time, we'd like to recognize enlistees in the U.S. Navy. From Central High School, Tori Bentley. From Central High School, Miller. From Temple High School, Kanaya Ennels. And from Villa Rica High School, Cameron Haney. I'd like to recognize those enlistees in the United States Marine Corps. From Bowden High School, Kendall Tippins. From Central High School, Blanchard. Central High School, Jacob Rodriguez. From Mount Zion High School, Graham Brown. From Mount Zion High School, Tayad. From Temple High School, Harry Maine. From Temple High School, Kane Veacher. And from Villa Rica High School, Joe. At this time, we would like to recognize those enlistees in the United States Air Force. From Central High School, Jared. From High School, Lane Jacobs. From Temple High School, Justin Thompson. From High School, Mitchell Bragg. And from Villa Rica High School, Jonathan Paul. This time we would like to recognize those enlistees in the Army National Guard. From Central High School, Preston Easton. At this time, our recruiter will now swear in each enlistee. Each recruiter will say a few words, and then the enlistees, you'll repeat those words. The enlistees, please rise. Also, if you're a veteran, please join in the pledge that these enlistees are about to take.
I state your full name. Do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter. Help me God.
Please join with me in showing our appreciation to these young men and women for their commitment to serving the nation. As we conclude our ceremony, please let me give you some directions. We'll be moving into our meeting room, which is a large room located to my right. We have some light refreshment to interact with one another. We also have 5 tables set up, with each branch's drape across the table or behind the table. And the flag of that branch will also be behind the table. Guardians, this will be an opportunity for you to get a photo of your daughter signing with you at their side. There are pens and paper at each table. Parents and guardians, you can with your enlistee as they sign. This is strictly benefit. In other words, we're not going to make a major announcement and choreograph how things will go. Get a picture, interact with your family, interact with other families and the veterans who are present. Staff and pictures and posting on our social media sites. Thank you to our veteran attendants. Thank you to our recruiters. And thank you to our enlistees for your commitment to our nation. At this time, this part of the ceremony has concluded. Please make your way to our meeting room. Thank you.